What's going on, guys? I'm Lakota from Meyer Mediums, and this is vlog number 25. How was your Thanksgiving? Mine was great. Thanks for asking. So here we are at my 25th video since getting back on YouTube, and I had a fairly fun video planned for today, but I threw my back out after Thanksgiving dinner, which has kind of taken the wind out of my sails. So I'm sitting here with my friend Tiger Balm, and I decided to get one of these posture correcting gadgets. Pretty much everybody that I've talked to has told me that this is one of the worst things you can do for your body, so I figured, why not give it a shot? So far, it basically just feels like I'm wearing a crappy pair of suspenders. Is this really where you've decided to sit? Look at the camera if you're going to be here. No, back to the lap. Thanks, that's my pants. Hi, you really just love messing this shot up, don't you? Why are cats such buttholes? I didn't really have a backup plan for this week. I did think about doing a cringe reaction video because I've always wanted to do one.
Hey, baby.
Until now, I didn't think a towel could benefit from therapy, but I didn't have the time to gather up all the videos, so I figured why not another thrift shop story time while I show you the art projects I'm working on. I switched angles because clearly this is my better side. Okay, alright, get this fucking thing off me. Those things are useless. Is this what it feels like to take off a bra? All of the animals in this house are being super inconsiderate right now. Now, if you've watched my last video where I told the story about forgetting an employee in the store, you would know that I'm in management for one of the largest thrift chains in America. I told that story to my comedian friend David O'Donnell, who just so happens to be a former employee of this company, and this is what he responded with.
Lakota, sooner or later, it might take them 17 years, but they're gonna figure out that you should not be in charge of anything. You did a bunch of acid when you were younger. How many times has somebody been trying to, explain some business to you at work, and then you're totally spaced out, and you gotta make them repeat themselves because you're like, oh, man, sorry, I was thinking about transparent snakes.
And yeah, I've got to say, it's basically a miracle that I still have a job with this company. I have been written up countless times. That's not including all of the things that I should have been written up for. I am not your typical manager. I love managing. I like doing that job, but I'm big on morale. I totally believe that if the morale is high, then the work ethic will be higher. It's the difference between leadership and management. Anybody can be a manager. You can go in and just do what the book says, and it takes a different kind of person to be a leader. I'm not saying that I'm a great leader or something like that, but I know how to get people motivated, and it's not by cracking a whip. I prefer to have a fun workplace, because if you have a fun workplace, then people will come to work and they'll want to do the job. They'll want to stay there and do good work because they know it's a good job. If you're going into a job where your bosses are nightmares 24/7, you're not going to work that great. And that's all completely beside the point. I wanted to tell you guys about my first corrective action, my first disciplinary thing that happened at work. So let me take you back to 2008, because that's whenever it happened. It was my first year working. So I'm going to just have to set up the scene for you here real quick. Okay, so our store was here. This was the parking lot. This was our loading dock. This was a completely separate parking lot. That's the donation trailer. This is where I was working. So the first store that I worked at was in O'Fallon, Missouri, and we had a lot of donations that came in all the time, and we had really unreliable workers, so I would end up having to work by myself taking donations a lot of the times. We would average on the weekends 200 donations. One day in the winter of 2008, I came into work and found out that I was working by myself taking donations. I went over to the trailer, I unlocked the doors, I got the stairs set up, and people started driving on up and donating. At some point during the morning, somebody donated a wheelchair, and I sat in the wheelchair, and I would wait for the next car to come, and then I would wheel up to that car and take their bag and heave it into the truck without ever standing up. Maybe 30 minutes later, somebody made another donation, and there was a helmet inside. So I put the helmet on because why not? I continued to take donations for about 2 hours, wheeling around and getting people's donations and throwing them into the truck. And then my manager, Vicky, who was an amazing woman, and I miss her very much, she came out of the store and screamed at me from across the parking lot, "Lakota, get the f*** in here right now!" So I started wheeling my way over to Vicky, and then stopped because I figured maybe that wasn't the best thing to do because she was clearly upset. I followed her into the office, we sat down, and I was like, "What's up, Vicky? What can I help you with?" And she says, "Maybe you can help by explaining why corporate has gotten 4 calls in the past hour from people wanting to know why we thought it was okay to put a disabled person over a truck in a wheelchair to take donations with no ramp and only a giant set of metal stairs." So in our company, whenever you have to write somebody up as a manager, you have to put the reason why, and on my paper it said, "Pretended to be disabled while on the job." Anyway, now I'm the manager, and I get to do those write-ups, and I have yet to write somebody up that tops mine. Now, over the years, I have had to hand out disciplinary forms to quite a few people, and some of them have been wild. I know that there was one guy who was a chronic masturbator, and can you say masturbate on YouTube? Is that demonetized? Who cares? It's true. He did. He would do that while he was sitting down scanning and processing books, while he was on the floor and hiding in the clothes racks. One time he did it mid-conversation with another employee while they were outside. And you want to know what? He ended up getting fired for stealing somebody's lunch. He got busted stealing somebody's frozen chicken fingers. And he had reached in, and somebody walked into the break room and actually caught him. He tried hiding them in his pocket. And when the girl who he stole from found out that he had stuck his grubby little hands into her bag of frozen chicken tenders, the look on her face was priceless. There was another thief, and this guy, I don't normally dislike people. I try to find the good in them. He's one of the very few people that I have just absolutely disliked. He was like a possum raccoon human hybrid, a pathological liar, and a thief. Horrible work ethic, and he shuffled his feet constantly. Everywhere he went, it was just shh, 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 shh. Anyway, one day, one of our employees went outside to smoke, and she got called back to the register. So she put out her butt, and she put it in a little area where the wind couldn't blow it away, because she was going to come right back and finish it. Well, this guy went outside and smoked her cigarette. She came and told us that he had stolen the cigarette, and she just couldn't believe the audacity because it was her last cigarette. So I confronted him. I was like, "Hey man, did you steal her cigarette?" And he goes, "No." So I went back on camera because where she put it, the camera pointed right in that area. There he was, smoking that cigarette. I watched him pull it out and smoke it. I called him into the office and I asked him again, "Did you smoke the cigarette?" He denied it. So I had him watch the video, and he denied it while we were actively watching him take the cigarette butt and smoke it. Like he never fessed up. It was incredible. People are amazing. People amaze me. Now I can go on and tell you the story about how I was stalked by a psychopath for 5 years because he believed that I was integral to his firing. But I think that's probably a story for another video, because that would take a while to crack open. So, about these digital paintings that I'm doing here, I am currently running a special. I do these portraits. They're called vaporwave portraits. I call them that. That's what they started off as. Now they've evolved into all kinds of different things, just crazy, weird digital portraits of people. I am running a special on those from now until, through December. So yeah, people send me their faces and I trace them and I turn them into these weird techno vaporwave outrun style portraits. And I've got different tiers. I've got like a $30 tier all the way up to a $75 tier from now through December, like I said. And if you want in on that, send me a message through Facebook or Instagram, and I would love to do them for you. My list is pretty full, but I'm pretty sure I can squeeze some more people in before January. Also, I'm looking forward. I'm finishing up 2 album covers right now, and I can't wait to show those to you, because those were a lot of fun to work on. I really spent some time on them. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm talked out, folks. I need to go ice. I need to go ice myself. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for this week's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next week, and maybe, actually, I think I'm going to do 2 videos this week. Don't get your hopes up, because I love letting people down. So yeah, but maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who knows? I'll see you next week. Have a good one, everybody. Pray for my back, please.